what's going on everybody? Marvin here. Welcome back to another Q&A video. So I pulled a bunch of questions from the most recent videos that you guys have been asking me, and you guys have been asking so many more questions, which is great. If I can get enough questions, then I don't mind doing this every single week or every other week, however many questions we get. All right, so this first question is from Greg. Found a lot of profitable toy products, but I need to be ungated. Will just an invoice be enough for a new seller, or what should I do to get approved? All right, Greg, so I actually just made a video about ungating and everything that revolves around ungating, as far as how can you be ungated, how can you get ungated, and then as far as the toys subcategory that you're referring to, I actually throw that into one of my bonuses in the course. So if you're interested in the course whatsoever, don't pay an ungating service for the information that I already throw in my course, because you can get the whole course and get the toys ungating as well. All right, the next question is, hypothetically, if I did do PPC for smaller unknown brands with multiple sellers on the listing, would that benefit all sellers on the listing or just mine? I'd hate to be paying for everyone to get more sales. Okay, so I actually thought this exact same thing. I wanted to run PPC, start learning how to do it, but I was worried that I was gonna be paying for everybody else to get sales, which isn't the case. How PPC works, you're gonna get charged, or you're gonna be paying for clicks every time that they click on your listing when you have the buy box. So how it will work is, let's say you're running PPC on a product. When you have the buy box, it will show up as sponsored at the top of the list. Now you're running a PPC campaign, and every time somebody clicks on there, it's only gonna be showing up when you have the buy box, not when everybody else does. So don't worry about that. All right, this is from Profit. I'm starting with $3,000. Should I use that to scale, invest all $3,000 into one product, split that investment into two products, $1,500 a piece, or $1,000 a piece and $1,000 on standby, or have several products spreading the 3,000 out further? There's no wrong answer to this. You can do it any way that you want. You can find a very profitable product and spend all 3,000 on that one, or you can find a bunch of different products and spend a little bit on all of them and then add it up to 3,000. Okay, so there's no wrong answer and there's no wrong way of doing things. It just depends on what you're finding. If you find one product that's 50% ROI and you can spend $3,000 on it, then go do that, obviously. So it just depends on what you're finding. Hey Marvin, in your opinion, what is the biggest barrier to entry for Amazon wholesale, and what do you think is the single most difficult aspect for people struggling to be successful? All right, so this is very easy to answer. The biggest issue that people have when it comes to being successful in Amazon or anything else is their mindset. I know people are always talking about mindset this, mindset that. I get it, but it's true. If you show up to this business thinking that you're just gonna try to make some quick cash, or you're gonna figure it out, and you're not really gonna dedicate a ton of time to it, when you don't figure it out, when you do hit a wall, when you start running into obstacles, you're gonna give up, or you're going to get discouraged, or it's just not gonna work out for you if you don't come in with a specific mindset. Like I said, regardless if it's this or anything else in your life, if you don't have a specific mindset for that, you're just not gonna see it through. And if you can't see things through, then you're never gonna be successful in them. All right, so next question is, the last video you did about the Purge, I've been seeing a lot of videos on YouTube stating that this is going to be bad for small businesses like the one we are trying to start. If everyone agrees, can we do a second video on this? So no, we don't need to make another video on this because I can answer it right here. It's very simple. Those videos that you're talking about, they're referencing it being bad for the vendors that are selling directly to Amazon, because a lot of them are smaller businesses. So it's bad for their business, not for ours, because Amazon is making those suppliers go to Seller Central that we're all selling on. So they're gonna become a seller just like us. This is actually a great thing for third-party sellers, especially wholesalers, because more and more of those suppliers are going to be willing to wholesale out their inventory, because they're going from being able to sell one giant purchase order to Amazon to having to get all of those sales one sale at a time on Seller Central instead of selling it to Amazon. So their company's revenue is going to be taking a hard hit once they do make that transition, if they make that transition, because according to Amazon, it's all inaccurate. But if it does happen, it's going to be a huge hit on them. Okay, but for us, no need to worry. There's no issues for us. It's actually better for us in the long run. My man Randy right here, let's negotiate a price that's fair for your program and I'll buy it. No thanks. All right, should I jump on a listing with no prime sellers, brand name if it counts? Vladimir, this depends, right? It depends on a bunch of different factors. Is there no prime sellers because everybody ran out of inventory? Is there no prime sellers because it's a discontinued product? Is it a hazmat product? Is it a private label product? Does somebody have exclusive rights to it? So I would just need to see the listing to be able to know. There's a lot of factors that would go into it for me to determine if it's worth jumping into or not. All right, so this next question is from old Dangadoodle. Something I've been having trouble finding a clear answer to is prepping. Required to send shipments to an Amazon fulfillment center. It seems like prepping is more for the private label side of things because products from wholesalers generally already have UPC barcodes and stuff. Could you shed some light on the part after we purchase the products from a wholesaler? So I understand the confusion because, like I've always said, there's so much more information about private label than there is about wholesale, but it's very simple. I always recommend that you have Amazon prep and label your things, right? So you're gonna purchase from your supplier, and then you're gonna create a shipping plan. And in that shipping plan, when you create it, you just have Amazon prep. So it's gonna ask you who preps, you put Amazon. And then it's gonna ask you who labels, you put Amazon. And then you ship it out to Amazon and let them handle it. Now you can have your suppliers label and prep if they're willing to do so. But the reason I don't do that is because a lot of suppliers aren't really familiar with the policies and procedures that Amazon has in place as far as prepping. So if they mess something up, then it's gonna be on me. And if that happens, it's gonna cause a headache with Amazon. So I always just like to streamline it, even if it means making a tiny bit less money. I'd rather make a tiny bit less money and avoid the headache altogether. All right, so this next one's from Chris74. When a wholesale supplier does not provide a product list or spreadsheet, do you move on from them as manually going through the website is too time consuming? Not necessarily, it depends. So what I would do, and what I always do when I get a spreadsheet, or actually I get a list and it's not on a spreadsheet, it's a different format that you can't put in the scanning software, I do go through it manually for a certain amount of time. If I go through it manually for, like, let's say 20 minutes and there seems to be some potential there, then I'll take the time to scan more of that list. But if I go through it for 20 minutes and there's nothing that makes me think that they're gonna have any profitable products, then I'll just move on. Not a lot of people are gonna wanna take the time to scan them manually because it does take a lot of time. But I've had some very profitable products found in lists like that. It just does take time. If you have some inclination to make you think that it's gonna be profitable, then scan it manually. If not, then just move on. All right, so this next one is, do I find a product, then look for a wholesaler for that product, or do I get an account with a wholesaler and sell whatever they have in stock? So I like to find distributors that have lots of products, right? Because they have, not only do they have branding products, but they have a bunch of different products that you can choose from. So I go to them directly, I get a huge list from them, and then I put that list into a scanning software. Scan that list and then pick whatever's profitable. All right, so this is from Andrew. Should I start doing wholesale FBA even though you said it might be too late since Amazon is going to change how things are done? Andrew, I don't know where you're getting this information. It's not too late, and I've never said it's too late. Why would I say that if I'm still doing it? So I don't know where you're getting that information, but it's a great time to get started and jump into wholesale. This next one is, once we receive a price list from a wholesale distributor, what is the method to evaluate the data? So what you're gonna need to do is sign up for a scanning software. Whatever scanning software you want. I use ScanUnlimited, and I'm gonna have a video recorded about that that's coming out next week. And I'm gonna break down everything because I think it's the best scanning software on the market. And I'm gonna show you everything that it offers. That's the scanning software that I recommend. There's also AMZ Analyzer, which I used to use for a long time, but it's not web-based. I think now they're transitioning to web-based, but since it's not web-based, I couldn't use it on my Mac. So I'd have to jump from my PC to my Mac. Just a complete nightmare. So ScanUnlimited, you can use it on Mac, you can use it on PC because it's web-based. I'll link ScanUnlimited down below and you can get like 50% off on your first month. All right guys, so that is the Q&A. If you guys have more questions, then make sure to leave them down below on this video and I will throw them into the next Q&A video. I don't mind doing these every week or every other week as long as I have the questions to do them. But yeah, so make sure to like the video and comment something down below. Help me with the algorithm. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next video.